Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, November 28th. Is that right? Thanksgiving Day. Here we are taking a little walk this morning. Come on, Mo! Normally, Momo usually walks with me, but she's not today. So there's not very many, excuse me, not very many mushrooms out here, except for the usual turkey tails that we see on the rotted wood. I think turkey tails can probably be on any kind of rotted wood, whether it be pine or oak, because I'm seeing it on the oak. I don't really remember. So there's some of that metamorphic rock. That's slate. You can tell it's layered. It's a sedimentary rock that has been under pressure and heat. There's so much metamorphic rock around here. It's, when I started on the journey to try to identify rocks, I knew that I was up against a big challenge, because these rocks around here are all some kind of sedimentary metamorphed, or some volcanics, some all kinds of different kinds of rocks. So here's some more of that stuff. Some people would call that shale, but USGS says it's slate. But we do know that it is probably a siltstone that has been deep in the ground under pressure and heat to metamorphose it. It's probably just the pressure alone would create heat. I don't know how deep you have to go. Probably pretty deep. But if there's volcanics involved, that means not very deep. So what we're seeing here on the surface of this ground are all oxides. Sulfides are deep. They haven't been exposed to oxygen and water. Oxygen, they can be exposed to water, but if there's no oxygen in the water, they won't become an oxide until they are. So oxides are shallow, sulfides are deep. A little lesson for us today. So we still haven't resolved our leak problem. What a beautiful day today. See, there's the sun way over there, way low in the hemisphere. Comes up over there. Summertime it comes up over there, kind of like over Bear Mountain there. So today my mind is a bit clear. I'm not stumbling over my words. I do appreciate that. It's just me and Pam this year for Thanksgiving. I am gonna make so we don't eat we don't need a whole turkey, but I did go to Winco, and if you spend $135 you got a free turkey, and I didn't know that. So I got a big turkey in the freezer. Probably have that for Christmas. That's cool, because part of our Christmas dinner will be paid for. I am gonna probably do the traditional beef roast on the spit, and prime rib on the spit. That's the way I like it. We have a little spit in there with a heat coil that turns red and heats it up. I wrap tinfoil around it to keep the heat in. So it doesn't take very long to cook it, and I like mine medium rare anyways. So yesterday we kind of hit a roadblock on this. We went to the hardware store and couldn't get a 2-inch gate valve. We actually went to, and so Mike went home, and out there by where he lives out by Home Depot. So he stopped at Home Depot and they didn't have them, and then he went over to Lowe's and they didn't have them. So imagine that. I've never run into this before. So we have to go to the plumbing supply place, and they will charge us a freaking premium for a 2-inch gate valve. So what we decided to do was put a ball valve here, just a little plastic ball valve. What I don't really like to do, but however, it seems to me that the gate valves don't last. Something happens. So the compression nut on that stem right there was broken. The roots had got up in there. It was loose, and then the roots got up in there and broke it in half. And because, besides the electrolysis and other things, corrosion that happens to this stuff, and the Bible says that all things on this earth are going to decay. So I'm thinking we're just going to put a plastic, and that plastic, because it was not subjected to the sun, I mean, you can see we put a new piece in right here, and then that's the old piece there. But it still cut, it was soft when I cut it. And so I think we're looking pretty good. We're going to start doing some valve isolation now. We just installed that valve right there. And that compression fitting for repair, because we don't, it's a slip. It slides back and forth, so you can install all your stuff here and then slide that back, and that valve there we had. Good thing. It's a good valve. Operation works. It doesn't leak. Everything's good. So we're getting there. And then we decided that we're gonna go down behind the wall down there where that line goes down underneath the driveway over to that fire plug, and we are gonna put a ball valve there. So all we can get at the hardware stores nowadays is ball valves, plastic ball valves. How do you like that? And if you was to buy a 2-inch ball valve, it would be probably $60-some, right? These guys right here, I think were $27, and the ball valve was $16. So $10 different, $11. So that's what we're gonna do. There's no water in these lines right now, so we're not afraid of freezing. And that is that. Today we're gonna walk up here. Should go up in the draw over there and show you. Well, I'll show you. I'll go up in the draw and I'll show you if you're interested. I'll show you, I'll show you that pile of ore that the old timers stacked down there. So I've been putting videos on Facebook, and I've been putting videos on YouTube, and I'm gonna figure out, I don't know how to put it on. I tried once to put it on Rumble, but without too much luck. So I'm probably gonna have to get somebody to tutor me to get it figured out. See, they're having a lot of mushrooms growth in the mountains. Feels like it's gonna be a colder winter this winter than last winter. I wouldn't surprise me if we got some snow. Year before last, it snowed at my house 5 times, which my cherry tree loved it. Cherry trees like that cold weather. They gotta have something like 500 hours, depends on the type of cherry tree. They gotta have like 500 hours or something. Maybe it's 300. I don't remember, but hours of below 45 degrees before they'll form fruit buds. And those trees are forming fruit buds. Now, if you lived up in Shingletown or somewhere like that, cherries would be the ideal thing to grow because they'll get that many hours. And I don't know if it has to be that many hours straight or if it's, look at this game trail here. The deer were bedded down above the house. There's about 4 or 5 deer up there bedded down above the house last night. So we're going to investigate this outcropping right here, this rock, some more. Look at the moss growing on it. That is so cool. I don't know what kind of moss it is, but it's pretty cool. I could probably take a picture of it and identify it. I have an app that would identify them. Those apps you have to be careful because if you're trying to identify mushrooms or if you're trying to identify plants that you can eat, you better double check because the apps don't get it right. So, about 50% of the times what I noticed. So we have an outcropping right here. And that's why this dove off right here when I built it, because this was hard. And I didn't want to put my old backhoe through the stress. Anyway, so I love this time of year in the fall. Me and Luke are gonna go for a drive in the mountains on Saturday. Most likely those leaves will all be on the ground like these guys. Well, we sure got a lot of dead trees, and it's too bad because that was a nice big ponderosa pine that died. Here's another big one that died. I mean, I should have invested in a sawmill, but I got too many things going right now. I mean, I don't know when I could run the sawmill, and I could probably get trained Mike on it, but yeah, look at that baby. Yeah, and the one next to it's dead too. Yeah, that's too bad. So I'll show you this here. I don't know whether to call this an adit or a prospect pit or a prospect adit. That's probably what I should call it, prospect adit. This thing you can see was running water. And this rock right here, I have not been able to identify it. I need to get somebody that's a little smarter. Oh wow, it didn't take long for those blackberries to take over there again. It's hard to tell if there's anything in there right now. I don't like walking up on these holes in the ground without a weapon of some sort, and I'm not armed right now. But you can see that's the fault right there. And you can see the angle of these rocks, right? So if you look, you can see those angles. So there's a fault here. And I don't know if I am going to be able to identify sooner or later whether it's a normal fault or a different type of fault. There's several different kinds. So normally, I mean, what you do see is like whenever, when you see something like this and then you see this kind of identifier like that, that tells you that this is probably a fault line because the rock was softer and it eroded out quicker. And so it's going to create a draw, right? So, but what we're not finding here in this little adit is we're not finding any quartz. It's a pretty good size outcropping, and we have the thing laying here like this. Now, if there was a footwall here, that's going to be a hanging wall, and most of these faults will run north, west. It might even be north by northwest. So I've got to get, this is a brecciated rock of some sort. I know that. See, you can see the rocks. And the rocks aren't totally, I mean, they're rounded on the corners, so it kind of indicates that it probably tumbled for a ways and got rounded. But this is a conglomerate right here. It's kind of a cross between, there's some angular rocks in there, and it might be a piece of quartz right there, or could even be a piece of calcite, or case bar, right? But that would be a good one to take down and see what it is, because you can break it and watch and see if these white pieces of rock, if they spalled, if they fracture and they don't fracture straight, right? Then that would give you an indication of what kind of rock it is. Some kind of silica, though, that's for sure. Anyway, so you know, I'm just not seeing the I'm not seeing the not seeing the mushrooms. I'm sorry. I got to thinking about something else. I do that a lot. Anyway, so see if I can show you. I don't know if I can show you that pile without walking down there to it. And I really don't want to walk down there to it. So right there's a pile. You can see where that buckeye's growing right there. Right there's the pile. Let's see, I'll see if I can zoom in on. Oh, it's not going to let me zoom. I'll be darned. I don't know what's going on with this camera. Anyway, so all right, I'll walk down there. Oh, because I'm getting where my legs aren't working well. I have a narrowing in the channel in my backbone, so it's restricting that nerve. And so not only that, it's causing me a lot of pain and discomfort, but it's also the fact that I broke my neck in 2019? Yeah, see, they brought this stuff down here, and it came out of there. It came out of that attic. They brought it all the way down here and stacked it. Evidently. So this stuff right here is got a lot of iron ore in it. And this is the stuff the reason I built that crusher, because I can crush rocks that size right there. Now these over here, I'll have to break them up with a sledgehammer to get them in there, but you don't see, and this is a fairly decent pile, and it might have ran up this way, but although I'm not seeing any of these kind of rocks, yeah, maybe I did get into that pile a little bit with my backhoe, because I was pushing the dirt out of the attic, and I got it as far as right there. It was really hard because it's so narrow, hard to push with the backhoe. So, and I was hoping that we would get enough rain to where I could come down here and do some panning down in one of these holes just adjacent to here to see how much gold is in there. Now I think that pile, it goes all the way down to here, and I'll be able to dig those out with my backhoe and load them up, loosen them up, get them loaded up. So I think it just goes around to right there and stops. It's kind of over here. They kind of piled it in this center of this draw right here, right? I mean, the water's not going to wash away, but it will. The thing of it is, it's been laying here a long time, so maybe a lot of that gold is precipitated out. This kind of ore here is going to be disseminated. I have broken this stuff up and not seen any free mill gold. So we'll see. I can't wait to get this going. I'm looking forward to this, testing this. I hope that I find something, and my assumptions and my suspicions are correct, that's what this could be. So at one time, I was going to build a dam right across here, because you have that little ridge that comes down right here, and I was going to build a little dam right here. My property line is, there's that pine tree. I don't think it's that one, but there's another pine tree. So my property line actually is about right in here, right? And I asked the people that own this property, and I'm probably going to buy this. There's 10 acres here. It's just a big long strip that goes all the way up to the side of the hill. It's not really suited for building. I mean, you could, but it would be expensive. So, but if I bought this, that would give me 30 acres here, and I could, do a subdividing, do the plan and submit it, and if it gets approved. But the thing of it is, we'd have to have an access and egress road going out that way to have a place to flee if all this is on fire. If it's coming from the north and that's down there, our exit down there is on fire. It's really hard to drive by that stuff without, getting yourself in a pickle. And it would be not be advantageous to go that way. It'd be to go this way if there was a road. It has to hold 40,000 pounds. So I don't know why they want those access and egress roads to hold that much. Maybe they wanted, if the fire trucks got in here, they'd want to get them out that way. Maybe that might be it. But yeah, it's got to be access egress. So this little ridge that comes down right here is where I was going to put, because we have this draw right here, and this draw runs, and both of these run in the winter time. So I was thinking about, and then there's a big rock outcrop that I want to get up there. I come down this mountain with my backhoe when I was 20 years ago, when I was young and healthy and bright and responsive. So now I'm quite a bit older, and don't trust myself to make good, clear decisions, whether or not I'm gonna pull myself up with my bucket, pull myself down with my bucket and leave my outriggers down. I'm never gonna raise my outriggers on that steep of a ground, but that would be interesting to do again. It's just about all growed over again after 20 years. But I really would like to get up there, and maybe I'll just build a road down to that outcrop, because I own the property, and there's already a partial road built there. So all I have to do is just kind of widen it and punch it a little bit further, probably 50 feet. Anyways, ain't nobody's business but mine. As long as I don't endanger anyone or make anyone sick. See, I'm not so sure. See, this rock right here, this is more of that conglomerate / breccia right here. Now it'll frickin' zoom in. Yeah, you see that stuff? It's like a breccia, but the infill mass, the material around it, I need to identify that too. Matrix. The matrix. Anyway, so okay. I don't know why that thing won't let me zoom sometimes, and other times it will. I don't understand. I just don't understand. Oh, my legs are getting weak. My buttocks is getting weak. My legs have probably shrunk. My thighs probably shrunk because of the injury to my spinal cord. Anyway, so I'm gonna head back up. I used to walk, just a year ago, I used to walk this all the way up and around, and I'd do it 2 or 3 times to get my cardiovascular up. And I'm gonna start on another journey here real soon with, getting out and hiking more and doing crunches. Believe it or not, I used to have a washboard stomach, but not anymore. I need to get that back. I need to cut down on my intake. I don't want to eat more meat, because meat's really hard to digest with my problems with my stomach. So I'll find a pathway to that somehow. Kind of a winding pathway to get healthy again. But I've done it several times in the past. I can do it again. So You know, see this quartz, little pieces of quartz, and it's stained. It's got iron staining. It might even have it's got some manganese staining, we know for sure. I'm just hoping that stuff that I found up there on top is a decomposed hematite. I really just need to run a pan of it through my pan and wash it out and see what I got. I got my sample. All I have to do is pan it out. Whew. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll take that quartz stringer out right there. I've probably showed you this about a half a dozen times. But you want to look, see how much iron staining, how much mineral staining is in that stringer. It comes down this way, goes around this way, goes over to right here. Daylight's out. And you never know. You might dig down here, dig deeper and find that vein if that. So what they say is you'll have, in quartz veins, you'll have parallel veins or stringers, and these are called stringers. So somewhere here, I don't know, maybe the big vein was up here before all this was washed off during the flood. So a lot of things were going on when Noah's flood came. Upheaval, tidal waves, 3 miles high, a mile high, washing across complete continents, right? And when all that's going on, I would say the place you'd want to be is out in the deep water. You wouldn't want to be in those areas where the earth cracked open and the seawater rushed in, and then it spewed out and rained for 40 days and 40 nights. People wonder, you know, when you read the Bible, people think that what they're reading is a myth. Well, it's not a myth, it's real, because what we're seeing here doesn't jive with what was going on before the flood. Time was the same. It was just the rapid movements of the earth and things. So we got that valve box on. So I'm gonna turn this water on. Let's see. I'm gonna go down here. So yeah, it's just gonna be me and Pam here for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna make mashed potatoes and gravy and green bean casserole and turkey breast, and I already got a picnic in the crock pot that's ready, and cranberry sauce and all the goodies. I'm not gonna make any sweets, just the cranberry sauce. That's what we really love. And then when you have leftovers and you're making turkey sandwiches, you can put mayonnaise on your bread. I baked some bread yesterday too. So you put some mayonnaise on your bread, and then you put cranberry sauce on there with the cranberries. You don't want that stuff that doesn't have the berries in it. And then put the turkey meat on there. Oh, it's so good. Such a treat. All right, well, I guess I better get doing what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut that, make sure that valve is off. I'm going to make sure that valve is open. And then that valve, I'll take that water down there. And that's what feeds the shop and those irrigation on that side. This goes down to my sprinklers in my house, my fire suppression systems. It's already off. Let's turn this one on. to get a pair of pliers. I can't turn it. Let's see if I can get this on there to turn it. Help turn it. So it broke. There we go. There it comes. I don't like using ball valves. Gate valves, with ball valves, if you open it, you have to open it real slow. Because if you have a weak spot anywhere in your system, if you open that thing full blast, it's like hitting it with a full blast of pressure and flow all at one time. And that would not be a good thing. I think the last time we dug this up and did some repairs here, because I have a conduit right there, and you can see that I must have got a tooth into it, and that's a repair that we did on that conduit. It goes down there because we're gonna, anyways, because we're gonna, that's where we're gonna drill our well. Should have drilled a well. I had a guy from Shasta Drilling, that was gonna do my well, and if I paid him cash, we were gonna get it done. Okay, so that's it. So this one is closed. All right. The tank is full, so I'm not gonna turn on the I'll probably keep making videos of this problem I'm up against here. This place is 23 years old or something like that, and everything's beginning to fail. My water systems are failing. My faucets don't flow like they used to. We had to put new faucets in, and the state of California mandated that the plumbing industry come up with a way to save water, so they made it so slow flow faucets, and that didn't rush out. It's full. I'll be damned. Oh, maybe that one's closed. It might be. I don't know if I can get that open with my fingers. Yeah, it might be closed. So I didn't hear any water rushing. All right, well, I guess I better. Let's see if I got those. I better have a screwdriver on my backhoe, dang it. We used them yesterday. Mike probably put them back in the truck. Yeah, I don't want to get up there. I'm pretty sure there's my walking stick from yesterday. I'm pretty sure that valve is off. I'll have to go get, well, I might try it. I'm gonna see if I can stick my fingers in there and get it open. I won't have to come back up here but one more time to shut it down. I got a leak down there somewhere, and I don't. So it turns out we have a leak going down that way, and then we have a leak going down that way. And so what'll happen is those leaks will start out slow. You know, you have a root or something growing in there. You get a little bit of dribble, and the roots get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the next thing you know, whamma-bamma, you got a huge leak. And the thing to do is watch your water bill. If it starts gradually climbing up, then you know you got a problem somewhere before it becomes a huge problem, and then it gets real expensive. Okay, well, I guess that's it for today. Thanks for watching. God bless you and happy Thanksgiving.